name is Charles Lindenbergh, but you can call me Lucky Lindy if you want. You may know me as the guy who flew the first solo flight across the Atlantic, but that isn't the whole story. Let me begin with my childhood. I was born on February 4th, 1902, in Detroit, Michigan. My father was a lawyer and a congressman, but I was raised on a farm. My interest in planes rose out of newspaper stories of World War I aces like Raoul Lufberry and the Red Baron. I liked mechanics, and I went to school to become a mechanical engineer before I dropped out of college to go to flight school. I loved flying, but I didn't have the money or experience to fly solo. Therefore, I took to wing walking and parachuting to earn money. In time, I had enough experience in the air to fly alone. Then I took to flying airmail service for a living. As to the story you all wanted to hear, my transatlantic flight in 1927. I wanted to win the $10,000 Orteig prize, so I went to some St. Louis businessmen to fund the voyage on my monoplane, Spirit of St. Louis. About 7:40 a.m., the motor was started, and at 7:52 I took off on the flight for Paris. I passed over a tractor by about 15 feet and a telephone line by about 20, with a fair reserve of flying speed. I had sufficient altitude to clear all obstructions and throttled the engine down to 1750 RPM. Darkness set in at about 8:15, and a thin, low fog formed over the sea, through which white birds showed up with surprising clearness. This fog became thicker and increased in height until within 2 hours I was just skimming the top of storm clouds at about 10,000 feet. When I attempted to fly through one of the larger clouds, sleet started to collect on the plane. I was forced to turn around and get back into clear air immediately, and then fly around any clouds which I could not get over. The first indication of my approach to the European coast was a small fishing boat, which I first noticed a few miles ahead and slightly to the south of my course. I could only see it through a periscope because my view was obstructed by a large gas tank. An hour later, a rugged and semi-mountainous coastline appeared to the northeast. I had very little doubt that it was the southwestern end of Ireland. I located Cape Valencia and Dingle Bay, then resumed my compass course towards Paris. The sun went down shortly after passing Cherbourg, and soon the beacons along the Paris-London airway became visible. Later, I was circling the Eiffel Tower at an altitude of about 4,000 feet. Presently, I could make out long lines of hangars, and the roads appeared to be jammed with cars. I flew over the field once, and circled around into the wind, and landed. I was astonished at the effect my successful landing in France had on the nations of the world. To me, it was like a match lighting a bonfire.